Hello, welcome to the Rich and Simple Living. My name's Maria, and if you're new here, I vlog food things and bits of other things as well. And today is a bit different. We're doing questions and answers. So I've been given some more questions, so I thought we'll answer them today. So we'll get straight into it. I've had to write it all down. In fact, I'll prop it up so I can read it. So we'll get straight into it and I'll answer your questions. So number one. What's the most adventurous thing I've eaten? I think I'm asked that because most foods I don't eat. Like I say, don't really like that. Dean will have to eat that. He'll have to taste test it, because there's a lot of things I don't eat. So sort of what is the most adventurous thing I've ever eaten? Well, I've always been a basic eater of just like good old-fashioned school type dinners, and puddings and that sort of thing. Very basic. So I'm not into all these different fancy food. You couldn't take me out for a curry or nothing like that because I'm just not into it. And I'd never eat pizza or anything like that. So the most adventurous thing I've ever eaten, I went to Italy for a week, and on the Isle of Capri, I had pizza. I'd never eaten pizza before, didn't like pizza. So I say this about the children, saying, you've got to try it. How do you know you don't like it till you tried it? Now I was just like that. And I was an adult. And I was like, I don't like pizza. Just never liked the look of it all and just never wanted to eat it. So anyway, there isn't a lot of choice when you go to Italy because it's a lot of Italian food. And I didn't eat any of Italian food. So it was like, I'll starve. But anyway, on the Isle of Capri, they were making pizzas in these outdoor pizza ovens. And I actually looked at them and I thought they actually look quite good. And my son only ever ate spaghetti bolognese. He loved that. So he was in his element, having spaghetti bolognese everywhere. And the others would eat things like that, pizza or bolognese. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try one of their pizzas. So I watched them make the pizza and I tried the pizza and I actually enjoyed it. I have since eaten pizza since being here in England, coming back, but I don't like them as much. I can only eat the cheese and tomato one as long as not too much tomato. But I'm not so keen on them because they're too doughy. I don't like much dough. It has to be very thin crust. But this one I had in Capri was beautiful. It was really nice and cheesy, and it wasn't tons and tons of dough. It was just nicely cooked. It was really nice. So that's the most adventurous thing I've ever eaten, and it was in the most spectacular place, and it was lovely. And so I have eaten pizza since, but like I say, just cheese and tomato. So that was that one. Number two, what's my worst thing to cook? Well, I think the worst thing that I've ever cooked, and I avoid doing them now, is Swiss rolls. Actually, sponge Swiss rolls. I can do them all right, but it's that rolling up bit. Every time, there's never been a time it hasn't cracked apart on me. Always cracks apart, and everybody's given me all kinds of methods of doing it, and it doesn't matter what I do, it just cracks apart on me. But haven't made one now for years. I used to always keep trying, thinking I'll get there in the end. And there was nothing wrong with the cake. You could eat it fine. But it was just awful because it just cracked apart. But for the taste and everything, it was really nice. But for some reason, I could not stop it cracking. And I imagine if I was to do one today, it would do the exact same thing. So I don't do them anymore. So that's definitely my worst thing to cook. So do I have Facebook or other social media? No. I do have a personal Facebook page, which is like for family members and everything, because my family, I only have a few family round about me, the rest live away. Or rather, we're the ones that live away. But yeah, I have it for that, so you can keep in touch with them because it's a free way of doing it, and seeing pictures of your family members' children and that, and see them all grow up and things like that, what they get up to. So it's like being near to them, even though you're not, sort of thing. So I do have Facebook on a personal level for that, but I don't have a Rich and Simple Living page. I did have one to start with, but you find you're getting all sorts of strange people round and about that would sort of troll you a bit, and I didn't like that. I'm quite a private person anyway, so I didn't like that. So I thought, no, it can come off. So I did remove it, and I've never done another one. And I've not done, well, I think we tried Twitter once. My daughter did Twitter, and then I sort of got inundated with all these people I didn't know, and it's like, oh no, I can't cope with this. So that went as well. But now I have been discussing with my daughter, saying I might try Instagram as the Rich and Simple Living page. Might be quite nice. A lot of people seem to be on that, and I've not heard anything too bad about it, so I'm thinking maybe I'll give that a go. I don't know, I'm just thinking about it. If I do, I'll let you know. But I don't do any of those sort of things. Like I say, just Facebook is on a personal level. So where am I from? Somebody asked, where am I from? Well, where am I from? I don't know how you say where you're from. Is that like sort of where you're born or where you grew up? Because I grew up in a couple of different places, so I don't know. And like if I was to talk about my family roots, family for all different places, so I don't know exactly. But I grew up in, well, didn't completely grow up there, but I started off growing up in Staffordshire. And then I moved, we went across the borders into Derbyshire. So I sort of finished growing up there, if I've ever finished growing up. So yeah, like my childhood, they were between the two borders because my dad worked for the railways and he got jobs on the railways, so we moved around for the job. We moved because of the job, I should say. So yeah, and then was in Derbyshire, and I still live in Derbyshire now. So yeah, but not same houses, moved around. It's quite strange really, because all the childhood houses that I've lived in have all been pulled down and the last one is earmarked for demolition at the moment. All the schools, apart from the primary school I went to, but all the secondary schools I've been to, they've all been pulled down and housing estates built on them, so that's not very good, is it? Everywhere I've been has been pulled down after me. So yeah. So that's sort of where I'm from. I've not grown up in one place all my life. Not like my husband, he's been in one place all his life, but I've not been in one place all my life. So yeah. Question number 5. What other interests do I have apart from gardening and cooking? Well, that's not difficult to answer, but I was just thinking I'm not all that interested in cooking. And I have my moments with gardening. No, I do like cooking and gardening, but I wouldn't class them as hobbies, more of like a way of life, something I got to do. So if I'm thinking like along the lines of hobbies, then I would definitely say history and genealogy, definitely. I love history and I love genealogy. I've often found researching sort of family trees, and I don't just do my own, I'll do anybody's. I just love everybody's history and family history, and it's surprising who you find you're related to by doing that. So yeah, that is my real passion. If I could have a job in history or genealogy, that would suit me down to the ground. I did once want to be an archaeologist, but I don't know, life going away that one. So yeah, I do like that. I really do like that. So a couple of you have asked me how me and Dean met. Actually, that's because of history that we met. We both were part of these reenactment societies, English Civil War reenactment societies, and they travel up and down the country doing like reenactments of that time period, the English Civil War. And we were both members of the same royalists, the Hoptons Royalist Division, whatever you'd have called them. And so that's how we met each other. Through doing that, we were in the same ones under the same leader, and that's how we got to know each other. We didn't start dating then. it was about a year later after I'd first met him. He came to work at a place I was working, and we started to date from there, because it's like, oh, you're here, sort of thing. And I don't know, he just asked me out for a drink one day, and it was one Friday, and everybody goes out on Fridays and the weekends, and he just said, do you want to come out for a drink with me? And I said, yeah, why not? So 40 years later, here we are. I can see him in there, but I can't see his expression. Oh dear. So yeah, that's how me and Dean met. We first met through this reenactment society. We were in the same one, and then he came to work where I was working, and that's when he actually asked me to go out with him. So another question I've been asked is, because I've mentioned in previous questions, and I mentioned earlier in the vlog, I was talking about my swap over to universal credit from tax credits, because Dean used to do window cleaning, and then through health and everything, he packed up, and it was go from tax credits over to universal credit. So we could claim universal credit, but we'd have to claim it as it was like unemployed. I don't know how it would work, really. I don't know what it would be called. We could claim it, but not through working, because obviously he's not working full time now. I'm not really sure how it all works, but anyway, we didn't bother in the end. We didn't bother swapping over. We couldn't do with all the hassle of it, and we heard so many horror stories about it. And I just thought it won't be that simple for us, because Dean had retired, so we both have to go in, both have to do job seekers and everything, and and he decided to retire. So we thought, no, we didn't bother with it in the end. The only way now we'd go and get universal credit is as job seekers, I suppose it would be. Like, I don't know, like the unemployment benefit things. I don't know how all this new system works, but it'd be like that, like the old-fashioned days when you used to go on the dole and sign on. It'd be like that sort of thing. I think we'd have to go in as job seekers and be actively seeking work to be able to claim it anyway, which obviously we're not. So yeah, if we decided we wanted to go and actively seek work, then we would be able to claim it. So we didn't bother doing it in the end. We just left it. Couldn't be doing with all the hassle of it. And because we don't get universal credit, we couldn't claim anything else as well, because we did look at tax credits and council tax deduction, is it? And we did look at that, but you'd have to be claiming one of the benefits to be able to get it, or be on old age pension, and they'd review it then, but we're not on any of them, so we still have to pay full amount of council tax. Keep wanting to call it tax credit, council tax. So there was nothing we could claim, nothing at all. So we don't claim nothing, we're not on nothing. We just sort of go along as we are. So yeah, that was that. So next, would I ever consider Patreon, doing a Patreon account, or sponsored product reviews? Now, I had thought about Patreon in the past, but then I thought no, because there's a couple of channels I watch that do Patreon, and they look like they put some good stuff up, but I can't afford to pay monthly fees for it. So then I think to myself, well, if I'm like that, there's lots of people like that, and it'd be really unfair of me to put on a separate account wanting people to pay for it, and I can't pay for accounts myself, so I should know what it's like for other people. So it'd be very unfair of me to do that and expect people to pay for extra what I'm doing, when people are struggling, people haven't got the money to do that. And I just thought, oh no, it'd be a bit unfair. I mean, I don't do anything astounding anyway, so why should I go and say, if I did an extra cooking one week, why should I go and say, right, patrons only can watch it, when there's people who'd like to see it and they can't afford it? And I'd feel, to me, that would be unfair. I don't think I could do that to people, because I know what it feels like to not be able to afford to buy all these extra, Patreon accounts, what you'd like to actually watch. So No, I don't think I do that. Like I said, I did think about it. I considered all the pros and cons of it, and I just thought, no, it would feel too unfair to me to do that. So I wouldn't do that. What you see is what you get and what everybody can see. Sponsored product reviews. I don't really know. I've never. Hi, Dean. I've never been given, never been asked to sponsor any products. So I don't really know what I do. Maybe panic. I think if I was going to do something like that, it would have to be something that I would use, because what's the point of me sponsoring something, saying how brilliant it is, if I'm never going to use it, or if it's not anything I'd be interested in using. So no, I think maybe, I don't really know how it all works anyway. I'm happier not bothering with it, to be honest. But if I was approached and it was something where I thought, oh gosh, yes, I use that, that is actually quite good, then maybe I would do it. Because I'd be able to honestly say, yeah, it's a good thing. So yeah, that's all of that. I think that the only thing like I would take part in is like collaborations. I don't mind taking part in collaborations. So if any of you are YouTubers out there and you do collaborations, say, oh, would you like to collaborate a vlog with me? I'm happy to do that. You know, like how I do the gardening one once a month with Victoria and another lady, Lisa, in America. That's quite nice. You just pick a time when you want to bring your video out and the subject, and you just all do it together, and it's quite nice, and I love watching each other's as well. So I like taking part in collaborations. I've done a lot of collaborations before now with various people, done a lot of homeschooling ones actually, and I quite like doing them. So I'm happy for anybody who's got a YouTube channel and will say, hey, would you like to, you know, make a vlog with me, collaborate with me? I'm happy to do that. Yeah, so, I mean, for instance, say like there was other cooks out there doing cooking and that, and they said, oh, let's all do our favourite scone and we'll do it on such and such a day, and we'll all collaborate together and we'll do it on such and such a day, but you know, pick your favourite filling for your scone, and you do something like that, and then you'd sort of advertise it's collaboration. Everybody would watch each other's. You put the links down below to everybody else's, and you watch each other's, and that would actually be quite a good one. Be interesting to see what everybody's favourite scone was, wouldn't it, and how they do them. So yeah, I'm happy to take part in collaborations. I'm always open to offers on a collaboration. So yeah, providing it's something that I can do. So I would do that. So lastly, what would I like the future of my channel to look like? Well, for anybody who's following me right from the beginning, I don't know if there is anybody, but my channel has changed no end. It started off as a homeschooling channel because we started homeschooling Sean, and I wanted to sort of show her journey, and I became part of a lovely community of other home educators on YouTube who are doing the same sort of thing, and it was really nice to do that. But slowly everybody's drifted into other things, as I did myself. I seem to be into cooking and that now. Don't really know how I got there. Well, I do. I think it was when I got the air fryer for Christmas, and I thought, oh well, do you know what? I'm going to try and do some homemade chips in it. So I'll just film it just for the fun of it. It was just an extra video for the fun, and it sort of took off from there. So now I sort of do cooking, and I do the shopping hauls now. I do enjoy doing them. I do like shopping hauls. I think because I like shopping. Any excuse to go to the shop, I'm there. It's a day out to me. I love shopping. So yeah, we do a lot of them now. I do like them. So, and the other day I did that nice walk along the riverbank. Do you know, I enjoyed that. I'd like to put some days out in again. I used to do some days out and then stop doing them because I wasn't very good at filming them, because like I was saying the other day, if I film and I'm walking along, it goes do like that, and it's all over the place. And Dina was nicknamed me Shaky Hand Cam because you couldn't make out what I was trying to film, and I've always been like that. So I sort of didn't do any more. But then I thought, well, if I photographed it, took the pictures and did it in a picture format with a little bit of movement here and there, providing I'm not walking along, if I stay still, I might perfect the art of doing it. So I just thought it was really nice, because sometimes I think it's nice just to pick up the camera and show you where I've been and what I've been doing. And I like watching other people's channels like that. You know, I don't just like to sit and watch cooking all the time. I'm not really into watching cooking. I do like to see food hauls, actually. I do watch them. I do like to see a few of them, because it interests me what people buy and the kind of shops they've got near them. So it might not be just in this country, it could be in any country, because it interests me. Food interests me. Not that I like all food, but food does interest me and things like that. And I'm more like, I like the idea of growing it, where it comes from and what's good for you and that kind of thing. And, you know, what sort of is healthy. So I tend to cook mostly puddings. Oh dear. But no. Yeah, so I like a bit of all sorts like that. So if I said what would I like my channel to look like in the future, as it's changed so much coming along, I think I would like it to be sort of, I like to do the odd cooking thing. At the moment, this time of the year, it's not so easy to do cooking so much, because I tend to think, you know, like winter time, I like cooking more then, because you think, oh, I just fancy this, just fancy that, you know, comfort winter foods. And I tend to find myself cooking more then. You don't really want to cook this time of the year because it's too hot to be stood by an oven or whatever you're cooking in. And it's just, you know, mauling really. And then you don't want to eat anything big and heavy, so you just tend to throw salads together. So there's not so much cooking to be done during this time of the year. So if I'm saying what I'd like for it moving forward, then I'd still keep cooking. Obviously, it will, like I just said, it'd be less in summer than it will be in winter. I'd like to do my food hauls, keep doing them. Also hauls from other shops that I do. Maybe like when you get near to the holiday seasons, like your Halloweens and Christmases and things like that, when you're buying things for them occasions, I'd like to show more hauls like that, especially if I can find bargains and things like that for Christmas that is going to be useful to other people and give them ideas. I think that's good, because I like looking at things like that, things that give me inspiration and ideas, because we all need to find where things are a little bit less expensive. So yeah, I like to do more of that. I want to do some days out. I think that's what I'm going to do on a Monday, do some days out. It might be a walk, it might be somewhere I visited, but because Monday is a day I find really difficult to sort of get myself together. It's the start of the week. I don't know why, but it's always been a bit like a Monday blues thing that I have, and I think, oh no, not Monday again. And there's no reason I should feel like that at the moment, because most days are the same anyway, apart from the weekend when there's more people milling about. But yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things. So I thought, well, if we just put nice, relaxing days out on a Monday, it just sort of coaxes us into the mood, all of us. So yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Perhaps one day a week, like a Monday, to put on a day out or a walk out. Obviously not today, because you've had the question answers. And then we'll do some cooking. We'll do some shop hauls. I want to do lots of shop hauls. I want to do lots of shopping. That sort of thing. There might be other things. Obviously the garden will come into it. If we're doing something in the garden, might just pick up the camera and show you. So we're not going to be losing any of the content that I already do, but I'm thinking just adding little extra bits in as well, because I'd like to try and maybe vlog a little bit more full time, because I'm a bit here and there at the moment. I tried to set days I was going to do it, but it never works out. I think if I can try and do it a little bit more full time, because I found that when I do the vlogmases, when you're doing it every single day, it's easier to do than when I'm just doing it every few days. I don't know why, whether you just sort of get out of the habit of it, but when you're doing it every day, it seems a lot easier to do. So even if it's just 10 minutes or something. So I'm thinking, you know, just join our life for 10 minutes each day and see what we're up to, kind of thing, when I'm not doing the cooking or the food hauls. So we're going to do all those things and just bung a few extra bits in for you as well, here and there. And Mondays we'll always have a nice calming Monday, I think, just to get us into the mood for the week ahead. So that's how I'd like my channel to look, just a bit of family life. It's how it was set out to be, really, family life, homeschooling and family things. And so we're going to put the cooking in because that's all part of family life. You've got to eat. We're going to put the shopping in, what we buy, because that's good inspiration. People like to see that. I like to see that. We'll do our Mum Mondays. We'll do our Mondays a nice, day out, and try and make it a nice calming one, so it just sort of eases into the week. And if we're doing something else in the week, we'll pop that on. Could be anything. So I think that's it, really. That's all the questions. That's how I'd like my channel to look. I can't think of anything else that I was going to say. Should have jotted it down if there was. But yeah, can't think of anything else. So I hope that's answered everyone's questions. One thing actually I was thinking, like with questions, when people ask questions, it's nice just to gather them together and do a question and answer. But some point in the future, I'm not saying I will, but I wouldn't mind perhaps attempting a live, because they always seem to be a good place where people can ask questions and you can answer them. I mean, I could answer them because I haven't got many followers, but if I was a big YouTuber, I don't know how they answer them all, because tons of them just come up. But maybe they go over them afterwards, and that's where they do slotting question answers every so often to answer people they've missed. I don't know. But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that at some point, maybe doing a live. Not just yet though, but maybe eventually I'd like to do a live if there was enough of you to watch it. I'd perhaps do it on a weekend or something, and that'd be quite nice, just to chat and ask questions, or I can ask questions, and it was just a nice bit of interaction. So yeah, that's it for today then. I'll be back tomorrow now. I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow. I know I've got an Iceland delivery coming in the morning, so I might film that. That might go on tomorrow, actually. Might do that. I tried to keep getting £1 items. Now, my daughter's been shopping, my husband's been shopping, everybody's been shopping and buying all kinds of things. So I thought, well, I could get some of these £1 things, because they sort of go with things, like all your pies and them sort of things. But I'll show you if they do turn up. So maybe I'll show you that tomorrow, because I've got it coming in the morning tomorrow. So if that comes, I can film it, tell you what I've got and what I didn't get. I've tried for these lamb and mince pies again. I'll see if we get them tomorrow. I'm hoping we do, but who knows. Couldn't get them last time. They're out of stock. So we'll see tomorrow. So I'll probably do that tomorrow. So anyway, I'm going to go, or I'll be here all day. So until tomorrow, take care, everybody. Bye.